Welcome back to DC Cinematic Minute, the daily podcast in which we analyze Zack Snyder's Justice League by each individual minute. My name is Mark, and you can find me on all social media at Mark Meadows.
And my name is Nathan. You can find me on all social media at NoClutchNate.
And today we're going to be talking about minute number 53 of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is going to start with Jason Momoa's Aquaman walking out of that bar where he just rescued that sinking sailor, the Cortland captain, as Nate calls him. And then the minutes are going to end with Aquaman in slow motion gazing at the great ocean before him as he stands above, he stands on the dock there. And this is going to be one of those big slow-mo music video minutes, but I don't know about you, Nate, but I quite like this one, and I quite like, being able to talk about it with you today, and yeah, it's like we get to just talk about Aquaman. So how are you feeling just overall about this minute?
I'm great. I feel great about it. It's just like every other minute. I freaking love it, man. It's awesome. But this minute in particular is one of the coolest shots in the entire movie. And it really is. It's just like, yeah, so this is another one of those mythological creature or god intros that we've been calling them before.
Yeah.
Obviously the difference is because the one that we got with Wonder Woman before wasn't lyrical music, but that shouldn't matter. I don't think it matters. I think it. Let's get into the music in a little bit. But yes, this is awesome. This scene right here, the transition, the music. At first, I was weary, but I came along to it after, moments. Honestly.
Yeah.
It was weird. At first, it caught me off guard when we were sitting and watching it for the first time.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh. But then it just fit because... And I don't know if it... there's been other people saying, not other people. There's an argument for the lyrics for this godlike moment is too heavy-handed. Just like kind of why is it here? Why is it this blatantly obvious? Yada yada. I feel like, and that could be a solid argument, but I feel like in moments like this, you are supposed to listen to the lyrics. And yes, it's an obvious call to what this character is and what he's going through. And it's almost comical that you can do that in pretty much in so many situations where you can just find a song to put lyrics in the back that have very similar, actions or what have you. But it works, and it works well. And I think that's why it's like, it can fall into campy, because it works so well that it just makes you be like, come on, really? Yeah, really? It's that moment of just like, yeah, they did it.
Yeah. So I think, the music is going to be a big part of today's minute that we're going to be talking about. So we might as well get right into it. Obviously this is another Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds song. We got another Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds songs earlier with the Lois Lane bit where she's in Metropolis. But this one is There Is a Kingdom. And, like you said, Nate, the lyrics, they are straightforward about, how do we detail this character, who he is, what this character is about. Zack Snyder has a history of shooting music videos with his entire, directorial career. And you were saying, like, I'm sure it's a good argument for people to be like, oh, this is weird. But then, like, as the more you listen to it, you get more into it and you start to understand it and you start to appreciate it. And I think that's a constant argument. That's a constant argument people always have with Zack Snyder doing these needle drops in movies, because it happens in almost all of his movies. It happens in Sucker Punch. It happens in Watchmen for sure. Nate, I know you have a history with a particular song in Watchmen as well. And yeah, I think that's how it always is. And if it's not just the needle drops, it's with Zack Snyder in general about these movies where it's like, oh, that's weird. And that's everyone's initial reaction is like, that's a weird choice. anytime he puts hallelujah into something, it's always like, oh, that's a weird choice. And then as time goes on, people go, oh, well, I get it. Like, I get why he's using it. And it's like, I'm pretty sure Zach himself has these moments where he goes, I know it might be too on the nose. I know it might be a weird choice, but it fits. It really does work because artistically, when I design this scene to be like this, and I have this idea of this, rough Aquaman hero going through these things, it is with this song in mind. Like, the music does influence the vision that I've created. And it's the same thing we talk about when we talk about Doom Patrol and like the music that influences Doom Patrol and like the art that influences Doom Patrol. And so when we incorporate those things back into the content that we talk about, it's like, yeah, because it's all in that DNA. And so, yeah, I'm sure, like, of course, the first time we're hearing this, the first time we're watching this movie, you go, oh, this is weird. And it's like, that's a perfectly valid argument. It's just, if you continue to say, oh, that was weird, without furthering your research about it, that's when it's like, okay, maybe you're missing the point. It's the same thing with like watching Man of Steel or Dawn of Justice the first time and being like, this is weird. Why is this like this? Yeah. And it's like, but if you're watching it for the fourth time and saying, this is still weird, it's like, are you not getting it yet? Like, are you not...
Pick up on the facial cues and the acting and the dialogue and all this stuff, yada, yada, yada.
Exactly. And so...
I think so the argument of this is weird could stand, but the other side of that argument is then, like, every single, I don't know, WWE walk-on song is weird. You know what? This is kind of like that sense. This is, imagine you're making a cool-ass movie, and you got cool-ass people doing it, and you got to have these badass moments of the spotlight on them as these hero things. Of course they're going to walk up, it's like, you imagine these big sets. This right here is exactly that. And so, yeah, music on the nose, but then...
more of a walk-off song, if you will.
Sure. Music on the nose, okay, got that, mark it. Now keep listening. That's the thing that we need to get past. You gotta, cool. Maybe the song is weird, maybe it's too on the nose, whatever. Let me listen to the lyrics. No, I'm hearing the lyrics. It's a king, no, okay, yeah, cool. Listen to the lyrics. Think about why that would be playing right now in Aquaman's life, at this moment of where he fits into this world and him as a person. All of that. And even in and where he fits in this movie and with this invasion that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Big sets.
It really puts like, what emotion are we supposed to have right now?
Yeah, exactly. Are you asking me?
No. Just rhetorically. Yeah.
Yeah,
go for it.
I was going to answer your question. I'm sorry, you said rhetorically.
No, it's all good. No. Here, let me say this though. And it's about, I think the only argument I probably could have had is, why two Nick Cave songs in one movie? Like,
the dude
just
likes
on a Nick Cave.
Why throw a Richard Cheese song in Dawn of Justice? The dude likes it.
Because he likes it. Yeah, exactly. I think, picking this song for this scene, it sets the tone, it sets the vision for what he wants to see. And so, like, if we look at the 2017 version, they do the same scene, edit it totally differently, and it uses Icky Thump.
Icky Thump by the White Stripes.
Yeah, exactly. So that has a totally different feel, where this one is a little bit more like where he's burdened, where he feels like
you feel carries... like the king that's carrying the weight of the oceans on his back. This dude is king of 70% of this planet. This dude is just over the entire realm of this world, He has the power to dictate what could happen and what can't, or what shouldn't happen. He really does. You can't downplay Aquaman, and that's really, I think, out of all this stuff coming out and like what DC was doing with Jason Momoa and everything, that point hit, and it needed to continue to carry on. And I think it did. I
Yeah.
think what they were trying to do with Icky Thump is embellish that Keith Richards rocker type shtick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And hey, maybe Jason Momoa loves Icky Thump. Maybe he loved that part in 2017 when he saw it. Was like, that's cool. Awesome. I will throw that song on from time to time, maybe. It was in a Guitar Hero or something like that, I think.
But it just doesn't seem like it has like the consequences that we talk about with these movies, and that, you know, what Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder like want to write about is like these heroes with consequences, and like, you know, maybe it's just a good person trying to do the right thing kind of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see this scene with this song, you get that, and you get it with the lyrics when it says like, the starry heavens above me, but the moral law within. Meaning that, like, sure, he may be a rock star on the outside. He may seem that way. He may look that way right now as he's, like, killing an entire bottle of whiskey. Like, sure, he may seem like a rock star on the outside, but he has a moral compass inside where he is a true hero because he wants to be and he wants to do the right thing. And sure, he doesn't look like Superman. He doesn't act like Clark Kent. But the moral law within, that is why he is king. That is why he has a kingdom that he feels like he has to serve, even though he doesn't really want to, but he feels compelled to do so. Like, that's a true king. Like, he feels like he needs to do the right thing.
The weight of the crown is what you're dancing around.
Yeah, well, that's what you said. You said the weight of the ocean, and I kind of like that a lot better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
the weight of the
trident.
Ocean. I was thinking more of like the weight of the world atlas type thing, but then
yeah, well, no, it's the same thing, really. Yeah,
weight of the crown.
You know, and so in the 2017 version where they play Icky Thump and they just kind of give it like, he saves the guy, he gets the whiskey, and he's like, all right, I'm killing this, I'm a rock star, I'm gonna go jump in this water, and then you see this you know, drowning sign, this tidal wave sign that's like, you know, be wary of the tides or whatever.
Big surf, baby. That's what that sign means. Just means big surf. Hey.
But it's a totally see. This is where it gets. This is where it gets different in how you perceive it, how you kind of like take this in, and how you understand it. Is obviously when you see that in the 2017 version, you think, oh, that's funny. Because it's like, oh, watch out for the tides, and it's like, okay, we're dealing with the Aquaman. Like, it seems like a tongue-in-cheek joke, but here,
tongue-in-cheek, that would hurt. The wood, teak the wood.
Yeah, like a torch. But like, yeah, in this context, it's different because now that we're thinking of like the weight of the crown, the weight of the world on your shoulders, this is a man who's drowning in conflict.
100%.
All he can do is drink.
It's right there. The sign is right there. It's like he should be. It's a kick me sign pasted on the back of his shirt.
Yeah, it's not a tongue in cheek joke of like, oh, watch out if you can't swim. Oh, we're dealing with the superhero that does swim. Like, it's a totally different context. Now it's more like, yeah, no, he is drowning mentally. This is how he feels. Like inside himself, dealing with the moral law within, and having to deal with a kingdom that Volko has been preaching about is indebted to him, and it's for him to take up and to protect. And so it's that kind of thing where it's like that, the song, the coloring of the film, everything is so different, and even the fact that this whole
so heavy,
yeah. It really is.
Sorry, I cut you off.
You're totally fine. No, we get excited talking about this stuff. It's just the other thing is that in the other version, it's like that part where it shows the sign and it shows him walking over to the pier is the only time where it really feels like it's in slow motion again. And so like it just kind of like all of a sudden looks weird in the sense of like his movement is now silhouette, but it's also moving extremely slow looking, so it looks really obscure to look at, whereas this entire minute is slow motion, and it even has a good mix of like parts where people are acting in slow motion and then parts that are actually filmed in slow motion, whereas like him walking out of the bar is just Jason Momoa walking really slow,
Cool guy style.
Yeah, and so
That's
that's
hang on,
why
that one frame that we see in this minute of him exiting the bar, like,
yeah,
that's cool. You should like frame that and put it on your desk, buddy. Talking to you, Jason. He listens to the show. He's a big fan.
it's great.
That's a great shot. That's a great picture of the man. Just like out of context, Jason Momoa. I guess I got to go start the Twitter page. Out of context superhero that can swim. I like that you called him that before.
Yeah, okay, now that's very niche.
You know him, you love him, the superhero that can swim. Good old Aquaman.
It's great because like you have like those flags that are like not really moving in slow motion. They're moving in real time, but you still have Aquaman walking in slow motion. So it's a cool kind of juxtaposition of like showing like, yeah, that's actually him just walking really slow. And then when we get towards the end of the minute, then those are actually like IMAX cameras that are slowing down and actually putting things in slow motion, which is phenomenal. But yeah, the fact that the whole thing is in slow motion and has this music that's in tempo with the rest of what's going on here, that when we get to that sign, that then it means something. Then it all ties together. It's not just arbitrarily there like, oh, we're going to have like this little joke right here that we're going to look at. And it's like, it's so jarring that other version of the movie, just the way it's edited and putting different music on top of it when it wasn't idealized to be like that. It's so bizarre. And then, so yeah, I don't know if we had, Nate, am I talking over you? Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about the music? I feel like we just went right into it, but I think we also have like behind the scenes stuff to talk about as well.
Yeah, we got some other things and some personal favorites of mine that I enjoy talking about. But we got most of the music stuff out of the way. I just wanted to really my biggest point was that when I first heard it, I was weary, but after listening to it, of course, obviously, and watching it and seeing the size of this moment here, it was really just incredible. It was great. I came around to it very quickly. Good. Yeah, it's really good. This is such a good depiction of Aquaman, and it's not just like, I mean, yeah, shit, put it across the board, Aquaman. This is, the goal. But like, as Jason Momoa portraying this character, this is spot on. Like, it seems so natural.
I think this is the Aquaman scene Zach has always wanted to shoot. Like it
really is. I mean, look at the shoes. They look like they got the fins, like the action figure. I mean, like it looks perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It's Aquaman.
I think this is it.
It's Aquaman diving off the pier. He's going into this, and the ocean just looks terrifying. It's obvious. It's incredible.
The visual effects of that water, like
it looks
as
crazy.
It's like when he's standing at the very edge of it, and you see like the water like hitting the dock. It's beautiful CGI water. I really do love that. Unless they shot. Well, see, this is the weird
no.
thing.
Here, I got a thing. I'll tell you.
Oh,
water
tell
cannons,
us,
baby.
Water cannons. There we go.
60-foot pier with 12 water cannons going off. Again, this is from the Art of book, so I don't take it with grain of salt, I guess. But that's apparently a quote from Jason. He says, quote, "I've been in big surf, but I've never stood on a 60-foot pier with 12 water cannons going off. That water knocked me everywhere, which you don't actually see, but it was amazing. I felt like a rock star."
Oh, what a perfect quote. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's a weird thing now with the Snyder Cut is like there's so many different behind the scenes featurettes. I'm like having to like recollect like what was said where. And I remember Zach even talking about like the water cannons and him standing there and like having all these water cannons shoot at him. And so, but I can't remember which one he exactly said that in when he was talking about that scene because that was kind of leading into the village here. And you were telling me like they built like this facade looking thing. And so like this village that's behind him, is smaller. It's like one of those like forced perspective things where like the village is actually like that church that's on the left there when it's in the background is actually like 4 foot high or something like that. Like it's really not that big and everything is just kind of like, it just looks like that fake, ET ride where it has like the fake city and the fake houses and all those facades and things. It's really cool to think of like just that village that way.
Tell you something else. I'm pretty sure this pier is fake as well. Looks like there's a still photo here of just like the front of this tavern that he's walking out of, and it has a little bit of the pier here, and if I'm not mistaken, just looks like a bunch of scaffolding with like a piece of board on top that make it look like brick. maybe it's real cobblestone that they put on it to give him that whole thing, but also I wonder how slippery that is. That could be dangerous. Give him non-slip shoes.
Oh yeah, just wet rocks.
I don't know. Or hey, maybe it's like the chopped up tires like playgrounds are made out of now. You know what I mean?
Oh rubber. Yeah, like the ground rubber and stuff like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the rubber foam. Yeah. I was wondering like if the dock probably doesn't even extend that far out. Probably only goes like 3 feet, and then they're like, we'll just CGI extend it, like so it looks like he's walking down further out there. Yeah. But yeah, this is what makes it just look so iconic and so evergreen in that kind of comic book sense, where it's like this scene is now perfect. It is the perfect representation of what he wanted. This would probably be like one of the most upsetting things Zach would have, if he ever does watch the other version. It's just being like, no, this was like supposed to be my Aquaman scene. Like if that's what Aquaman is to me in my head when I casted Jason Momoa back in 2013, like this is the scene I had always imagined with this music in mind, and this kind of Aquaman with all these like Atlantean tattoos and stuff like that, and just like these black jeans, messy hair, beard, rough looking. Like this is that scene. This is that minute that he's always envisioned. And to see it in the other way, because I did go back and rewatch the 2017 version with like, I think he does say a beer for Ahab, and he does point to him, but it's like ADR. And then it has like the parademon goo and all that. And then it cuts into this, and the icky thump thing it completely makes it like, oh, we're having a good time now. It's like, no, we're not supposed to have a good time now. This is supposed to be a bad time for Aquaman. He's so conflicted. It's what we've always watched with Man of Steel, with our Superman, what Batman's going through, the hard choices that Wonder Woman has to make. Like, it's not a good time for this person. And we're going to learn that with the other two characters as well. Well, I mean, we already started talking about Cyborg, but we haven't really gotten to Barry Allen yet. But it's like, it's the same thing where it's like, yes, we might have a few laughs here and there, but we're going to find out like, Barry Allen's just as conflicted as well with what he has to deal with. And his rules, his moral law within, if you will. So we talked about the water cannon, talked about the facade. I was wondering if I had another note here.
You don't. I got one in the chat.
You got one?
Oh, yeah. Kind of. And again,
what do you got?
This is taken from the Art of Books, so I'm trying to see if I get reassurance here in the actual minute. It doesn't look like it. So apparently there's a sign above this tavern, kind of indicating what it is. And from this picture, it looks like a Spartan soldier holding up a sword, and the writing on top, what appears to be RHYFELWR, Ryfelver, possibly. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But Ryfelver is the debut album by the Welsh rock band Cries, or Chris, I don't know, CRYS. It was released in 1981. And being that we are in this Welsh tavern, apparently we're in Wales. Captain Cortland over here was speaking clear English, so maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe they do teach English. People know English pretty well, other than America, so that's pretty good. But yes, these Welsh pubs and this band Cries, or Chris, apparently used to play in Welsh pubs all over. They were well known in the 80s, playing heavy metal music. So again, tracking. If Hell, maybe in the 80s, Arthur came here once and was like, damn, that's a cool band. Maybe it was the same night that Bruce's parents died in 1981. You know? That's something to think about, right?
1981.
1981.
It's actually a good year.
Excalibur, brand new in theaters.
This is a really good... I like this one.
Yeah,
like
there's some differences. So, like, the sign itself, like I said, it had like a Spartan or a Centurion warrior guard, soldier, holding up a sword. On the... It's whatever. Their band is named after the Welsh word for shit, so I don't know the exact pronunciation, but it's Kreis or Kreis, maybe.
Very interesting.
The cover to that their debut album is kind of similar, but it is like a what appears to be some sort of godlike kind of Thor-looking guy with like a spear or a
That's
halberd.
What I was gonna say.
Because it looks like he's riding like a Pegasus
it.
or something, or maybe it's, I don't know if I see wings on this horse, but he's riding a horse.
Yeah, because like the way that it's spelled, I mean, I'm not familiar with Welsh culture, so I don't know where their mythology stems from. If it stems from Arthurian or if it stems from more Norse mythology, but the spelling and the imagery, I don't know if that's leaning into that mythology. I don't know if the song is mythological and like the lyrics, or if it's just Zack Snyder being like, oh yeah, let me throw in some 300 iconography, or if the band's logo is that way or anything. But that's actually really good. I might have to listen to that song and see what it's about and see why they picked the tavern that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really does remind me of Man of Steel when Clark was in like those bars in Canada, like when he was up there and he was dealing with what was that guy's name? Ludlow?
Ludlow's got his own following on the internet now. Get on the wagon, Mark. Come on.
God.
Come on, Mark. It's been so many years. Why haven't you gotten on the Ludlow train?
That's one thing to this day I'm still trying to figure out is how did they build that truck? How did they damage
100%.
that truck?
I don't get it. Anyway.
How did they do that?
Yeah. And how does he get his gosh darn boots on? Is it a zipper? I don't know. I don't see zippers.
I don't see zippers. Yeah, that's the trick. They CGI out the zippers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't see them. But no, that's a fantastic fact. I think that's a great one to end on because tomorrow we're going to get all into like some actual Atlantis stuff going on. But wow. Yeah, definitely a good call. I never caught that one. Is that just because it was in the Art of book? It was like there's a photo of the tavern, or you just have it paused?
Yeah. No, there's a photo. That's why I was trying to have some reassurance in the video itself to see if I can see this like it's like this big rectangular hanging sign. I'm gonna see if I can hold it up for you.
Yeah, hold it up for the audience, will you? Oh, that's an amazing photograph. Wow. Is that concept art too?
Yes, yeah. And then the actual image of the tavern facade.
Wow, the Art of book actually doing something for us.
Yes, but there's no explanations. It's just the pictures, which that's cool and all. But gosh darn it, I would sign a petition here to the moon and back.
I hate to do all the work ourselves.
Yeah, if we can get a petition going to have like commentary on this movie, that would be. Can you imagine actor commentary, director comment? I mean. We get a lot of director commentary from just him being him, right?
Oh, I'm sure one day he's going to do he's already done it with Man of Steel and Dawn of Justice, so hoping that he does the director commentary watch along of Zack Snyder's Justice League. But yeah, that confirms that we are in Wales, not in Maine, because he's in Maine in the follow-up film Aquaman. Amnesty Bay, that's what that place is called, where he visits his dad. So cool. Let's wrap it up there for now, Nate, unless you got anything else you want to tag on. You can find us on all social media at DCEU Minutes and the Facebook group, the DC Cinematic Minute Listener Society, where you can join us to talk about today's minute or any minutes you guys are catching up on. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow for minute number 54 of Zack Snyder's Justice League.